Ethan was only 9 years old, but life had already beaten him down in ways no child should ever know. His small frame looked fragile, his clothes always dirty and torn. His eyes carried a sadness far beyond his age, the kind of sadness that comes from hunger, rejection, and loneliness. Ethan never met his father. People said he was a sailor who drowned at sea long before Ethan was born. His mother, Grace, raised him alone. She wasn't wealthy, but she was hard-working and gentle. Every night she would tuck him in and whisper, "You're my little warrior, Ethan. Don't ever forget that." But fate was cruel. When Ethan was just 3 years old, Grace became very sick. There was no money for treatment, and no neighbor cared enough to help. One evening, with her weak arms, she held her son close, kissed his cheek, and whispered, "Be strong, my warrior." Then she closed her eyes and never woke up again. From that day, Ethan's life took a dark turn. He was sent to live with his uncle's wife, Aunt Martha, a woman whose heart was as hard as stone. She had 2 children of her own, both well-fed and pampered. But Ethan was treated like an unwanted burden. At just 5 years old, Ethan was forced to scrub floors, fetch water from a faraway well, and clean up after everyone else. When the family ate meals, Ethan was told to stand aside and watch. His cousins laughed with full mouths, while Ethan's stomach growled loudly. Sometimes, when he cried and begged for food, Aunt Martha would drag him to the yard. She would point to the pile of leftover peels from yam or plantain and shout, "That's your portion. If you're really hungry, eat like the dogs outside." And Ethan did. With tears in his eyes, he would pick at the dirty peels, chewing slowly, his tiny body trembling with shame. By the time he turned 9, he no longer begged for food. Hunger had taught him silence. He would sneak to the abandoned orchard behind the house where wild fruits grew. Sour guavas, half-ripe pawpaws, even bitter nuts. Anything he could find became his secret meal. That orchard became his hiding place. It was the only place where no one mocked him, no one called him names. He would sit under a crooked tree, chewing fruit skins, whispering to the sky, "Mom, can you see me? Do you know I'm still here? I miss you. Please don't leave me alone forever." But of course, the sky never answered. One afternoon, something happened that would change Ethan's story. As he crouched under the tree chewing a sour guava, he heard footsteps. He panicked, thinking it was his cousin coming to laugh at him again. But when he looked up, he saw a girl about his age holding a small school bag. She had bright eyes and a gentle smile. Her name was Lily. She stopped and tilted her head. "Why are you eating that?" she asked softly. Ethan's face burned with shame. He quickly hid the guava peel behind him. I'm not eating." But Lily had already seen. She didn't laugh. She didn't tease. Instead, she slowly opened her school bag, pulled out a piece of bread wrapped in paper, and stretched it toward him. "Here, take it." Ethan froze. Nobody had ever offered him food out of kindness. His hands shook as he reached out. He tore a small piece, placed it in his mouth, and for the first time in years he tasted something soft and sweet. His eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," he whispered. Lily smiled. "Don't worry. I won't tell anyone." But someone did see. From behind the bushes, Martha's oldest son, Caleb, had followed Ethan. He saw the bread. He saw Lily. He grinned wickedly and ran back to the house. That evening, as Ethan scrubbed the kitchen floor, his aunt's voice thundered, "So this is what you've become? Begging strangers for food like a dog." Before he could explain, the cane came down hard on his back. Whack, whack, whack! Tears poured down his face as she beat him, calling him ungrateful, and cursed. Then she shoved a plate of half-rotten yam peels into his hands. "Eat this tonight. That's all you'll ever get from me." Ethan sat in the corner, chewing the bitter peels with tears rolling down his cheeks. His little body trembled, but in his heart a small spark of hope had been lit. Because now he knew. Not everyone in the world was cruel. Someone out there cared. And that someone's name was Lily. Golden